We are about to rate on a scale of, what is it, 1 to 10?
1 to 10.
The quality of these 5 pizzas. Now, it's from the same store. You know what we should have done is got 5 pizzas from 5 different stores. Because if it's a good store, maybe there's just one good employee who's making good pies. It's not representative of the whole thing. But regardless of that, here we've got a cheese pizza. You look at a shot. I mean, that looks clean to me. Give me that rating. Break that down for us.
Okay.
And bring the mic up to your mouth.
Okay, 10-point perfect scale. Not a bad cook, little light, plenty of cheese. See the edge lock? The edge lock around the edge.
Edge lock.
You want it edge locked because if you don't edge lock it when you take a bite, the ingredients will fall off.
How's the edge lock?
The edge lock is the cheese locked into the crust.
How's it here?
Good, better, but still sloppy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's a perfect edge lock? Let's try a bite.
Okay. Here.
Cheers. This is my.
There's a perfect edge lock.
Oh, just a perfect little.
Yeah. Or
cheers. I've always wanted to.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Cheers.
To Papa.
Okay, there's a great edge lock. But on a scale of 10, that's borderline 8. That's servable.
That's servable. I'd say so. Break that down.
The crust could rise a little more.
Mm-hmm.
You want a little bit more like a French bread, where it's got the cells that are different.
Or the pizzas just go through a machine though? How do they control the cookness?
It's called an M-Dog. It's how you manage the dough. You got to manage the dough correctly to get it to react good in the oven. The oven's like a convection oven. It's real warm.
So it's a dough process.
Dough air process. Dough air heat. Yeah. But this is good pie.
That's a good pie.
Good peppercini, butter in the right place. You could serve this pizza. That's.
I'd be happy with that.
I would be happy with that too. If that's the worst we serve, we're good.
What do you rate that?
If I was really hard, 7.5.
Wow.
If I was generous, 8.5.
Wow.
Because it's
7.5.
not clean edges,
Right.
And you're looking at tomato sauce.
How do we prevent the bubble? Is that unavoidable?
No, that's dough docking.
That's with the machine.
And then it's oven tending. But if you're not measuring it, this will slip into some bad habits.
Right.
So this is not bad habits all the way, but it's baby stepping away from this. So see, let's look at the other ones.
Oh yeah.
This is the worst we ever served. We're good.
So this is, and Papa's being tough here. This is a 7.5. I give this a 10. I could eat this whole thing in 5 seconds, which I will the minute
That's
you're
why
gone.
you do what you do, and that's why I do what I do, right?
You're the pizza. I mean, yeah, exactly. I don't run a pizza chain here. Now this is
That's funny.
Now this is the Heart Valentine's Day pizza. Does this predate your ousting?
No, we did that product.
Now how am I supposed to eat this? There's not a slice on it. Just beast mode it?
I don't know if I've ever seen it. Now that's a papadilla. That's now Ethan's papadilla. That's what that is. Look at that damn thing. No, I mean, it's a gimmick. I mean, it's a heart-shaped pizza, which is cool, but you still got to cut it.
We can't rate this.
I don't know why they don't cut it.
That's a papadilla.
That's a papadilla.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
That's more like a quesadilla.
Right.
I don't know where they came up with this papadilla. It's a calzone. It's actually pretty good. But,
yeah,
this is fun. It's Valentine's.
Yeah.
It's got plenty of toppings. For what it is, it's fine.
I agree.
I'd give it a 10 because it's fun.
A 10 for fun, everybody.
But I don't know why they didn't cut it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're supposed to cut it. I don't know if they're... Because... I'm going to take another bite of this.
I'll make sure you get on your side.
Yeah. You don't have anything. You don't have any cooties or anything.
Jungle disease?
Now,
one thing is
I don't think it travels with pizza, though.
One thing they didn't do is put the...
No,
no, I know.
That's not a 10.
I don't know. Corporate Genius is trying to save 12 cents.
Is that what it costs? 12 cents?
10 to 12 cents. It's been a while since I've been there. But
You ever think about cutting it for cost?
Me?
Yeah.
No way.
You live and die by the butter sauce.
Yeah.
You're the only one in the game that does it.
I love the garlic butter.
Is
We've done that since day one. Garlic butter, salt, and garlic. But we now have, we do it in mass quantities, so it's a little bit different recipe, but it tastes the way we did it from the broom closet to today, 35 years ago.
Was that your idea, the butter?
We had a independent pizzeria in New Albany next to Jeffersonville, and they put butter in the box, and I like the concept. And we started it, and people fell in love with it, and we never could stop it. I was surprised the corporate geniuses haven't taken the butter out.
They might. Yeah, they might. At 12
I mean, it's
cents a
like
bottle.
$25 million bucks a year, $30 million bucks.
Wow, that's a lot of butter.
That's a lot of butter.
Man, you
Stay
guys are
tuned on that.
supporting. Yeah,
All
stay
right.
tuned on that. Oh wow! So now this is the Papa's favorite. We
that
went back in the
Oh, John's favorite.
yeah, which they removed from the website, by the way.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
I don't exist.
So this is the pepperoni, sausage, and 6 cheese.
Yep.
Let's break it down.
Okay. It's a little dry. The crust didn't quite have that good rise in it. You've got good distribution of toppings. There's a little bit of sauce on the edge. Edges are not clean. Again, we're in the ballpark of an 8.
You are a tough pizza critic, my friend.
Well, if it had a good rise to it, see, it's a little flat because they're not
Right.
managing the dough.
Cheers.
But see how flat it is?
Right.
You don't want
Too
that.
flat. You're right. It
You
is
want-
too flat.
Yeah. But when you get to the point when you've done this millions of times where you can kind of see it.
You're the
in real
pizza
life.
god.
You don't have to eat 50 pizzas in 30 days. You just eat a couple bites and you know what's going on.
Are you pizza Jesus Christ?
Where did it come up with this? No, I don't want.
Are you the savior of pizza?
We're gonna find out here.
If you're the pizza Jesus Christ, then Richie is Judas. Do you agree that Richie's Judas?
I agree, Richie's Judas.
There you go. We got something.
Hey, he asked for all this, right?
Right, of course. So
Okay.
but I actually agree. You nailed it. The crust is too thin and it affects the. I don't like the crust.
Makes it dry.
It's dry.
You want to keep that moisture.
So what do you give that one? Because I didn't like that one because of the crust
Well,
issue.
I give it looks. I could
Looks
almost
good.
get it to an 8, but again, they don't measure this
The problem is it looks great, but it doesn't taste that great
because
because
they
of the crust.
they no longer measure the rise.
Come on.
You got to measure the rise, and the best way to measure rise is the cheese pizza. Mm-hmm. So if you get the cheese pizza right, then you'll get all the other products right. But they stop this.
How do you
because
measure
it's
the
expensive.
rise?
Because you cut it, and then you dissect it like surgery,
Yeah.
and you see how much that French dough look you got.
And so, but what affects it? The dough? What happens if in the morning you go to make
Okay,
a
the
pie?
age of the dough.
You're not getting that rise.
Then the dough is either too green,
What do you do?
too new, it's not warm enough,
Mm-hmm.
or the oven settings are not correct.
So you got to tinker.
You got to tinker, but we have a management system in place to make sure that that process happens correctly. But what gets measured gets done.
Hmm.
You know, what you inspect is what you expect.
Right.
They stopped this. This is a problem.
Huge problem.
Huge problem.
So
Okay,
here we
same
go.
problem.
Wow. No,
All right, see how they're plumped up here?
Absolutely.
2 fundamental things in a pizza. Ingredients out to the edge, ingredients in every bite. No ingredients there, no ingredients there.
Right.
Again, we're back to
It's a
this.
desert.
Yeah, that one.
I'm having a huge problem with this area.
Yeah, that product is not. That's not as bad as sinful as some of these other ones, but you're on your way to
Papa
this.
is
You're on your way to this with this.
See, that's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
Yeah.
and you're getting close.
Let's try it. Now let's
gonna
test,
be dry. It's gonna
let's
be dry.
test the rise. This store is having a rise problem.
They're not managing the dough, and they're not managing the dough because they're not inspected.
That's not up.
They're not up. 10-point perfect pizza scale went out the window when I left. That's our friend Richie.
Judas.
I'm gonna start calling him Judas.
What's his last name?
Steve Ritchie.
Judas Ritchie.
This is
It's not good.
not good.
It's not good. The rise is all whack.
So, if you're at home and you're not getting this with a good rise, you need to call the store and ask for a new pizza.
You think they'll tell
Domino's
you?
and Pizza give a guarantee. Why shouldn't Papa John's?
No guarantee. Ooh, that looks
That's a
good.
little better.
That looks
That's a little
nice.
better. That's going to be an 8.5 pizza. I
I'd
can
love to
look.
see a 10.
Well, if we got to get a little rise. I mean, if we had a little rise here, then we're approaching a 9 with this pizza. This one's going to be a little flat too.
It's the same store. I mean, it's the same dough.
Yeah, same dough.
Same oven.
Right.
So it's a disaster.
Not a disaster. It's just Papa John's. When the dough rises and it mixes with the sauce, when the yeast feeds off the sugar, it secretes CO2. When that CO2, that chemical reaction mixes with the sauce, that gives our product that zing. And if
Thank
you don't,
you.
if you don't have that chemical reaction with the dough, the rise, you don't
No
get
zing.
the zing. And this pizza doesn't have zing.
And the zing is the capital P in Papa.
I think so.
Yeah, me too. It's not. It doesn't
It's
have
like,
the zing.
take a piece of Wonder Bread, little perfect cells, and take a good piece of French bread. There's a huge difference because one has a good rise and one doesn't. This product, it's not the recipe of the dough. I don't think they changed that too much, even though they changed it a little bit. It's how they're managing the dough.
Wow.
And see, there's three things that make a great product: consistency, how you put the product together, 10-point scale, and the ingredients. Now, they have changed the ingredients somewhat. They got rid of the olive oil in the
I feel like
dough.
I'm in Pizza University.
Right.
Do you
They-
consider yourself a pizza professor?
I mean, I just know what tastes good.
Yeah.
I mean, as my farmer friend says in Modesto, it's the food, stupid. Most people have rocks for taste buds, especially the corporate geniuses. They really don't care if it tastes good or not. I mean, all they care about is stock price, earnings. They don't really care about the people and the product. But at the end of the day, people that can taste the difference and want to pay the difference, that's our loyal customers.
Right.
And if you get it right, they can tell the difference and they'll pay the difference.
They don't eat the pizza. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're up in their ivory towers and they don't eat the pizza.
I think you're right. Unfortunately, I think you're right.
You need people that love pizza.
The manager in that store is the center of the universe. The manager of
Son of the universe.
center of the universe.
Oh.
They're the glue that holds it all together. They're the one that builds great teams. They make great pizza, and they really make Papa John's go.
Wow, that was a treasure, a treat. So, I mean, what was your overall impression? I think the presentation was good, but there's a real crust issue going on here. It's an epidemic, I would say. I would say it's the coronavirus of Papa John's.
Well, as Ray Kroc said, your quality is only as good as your consistency.
Right.
And what you saw here is bad habits,
Right.
but they're consistent. And so, you want to get the point where you're doing the right things in a very consistent way so that there's no surprises with the consumer. But there was a lot of good with these pizzas.
I agree.
But if you look at these products 2 years ago versus 18 months versus 12 months, every 6 months, if they don't measure it, it will continually get worse. And to the point where then your average score is a 6 and then you're dead.
You're dead in the water.
You're dead in the
So
water.
when
Dead in the
you
water.
were running everything, how frequently do you do this kind of quality control?
Ela, great question. How do you measure 1 million pizzas a day? And the answer is you don't. You measure 70,000 a year and you poll. And so if you measured enough and you incent what gets measured gets done, what gets rewarded gets repeated. So we paid bonuses on doing this the right way. And that's all been cut out.
Really?
Oh.
Right. So they don't get in a bad it's like your diet or your exercise. You don't get in a bad habit, in a day. You slowly over time get in a bad habit. And what will happen if they don't measure this, then over time it'll get worse and worse. To the point where you can't even recognize
It's
the
no.
product from this. Now, is this that? No. But at least it's in the ballpark. Now, a few of those other pizzas that I showed you, that's death.
What do you think about Domino's and Pizza Hut?
I think they do a nice job. I mean, I really
They're
do.
business for a reason. What do you think about little? I like to call them little seizures.
I think for the money, they got
Good value.
Good value. They use fresh pack sauce. Good product. And that's the thing with we were talking earlier about no experience. I mean, this is not like the head guy at Papa John's. He's
Yeah.
done sandwiches, Arby's. Well, there's no really national roast beef chains except Arby's. He did Taco Bell. Well, there's no national chains that do tacos, but Taco Bell. Pizza, you've got 4 big players that are all pretty good at what they do.
Right.
And then you got another half the market that's your independents, which are really good at guerrilla warfare. So, I mean, they're tough. I'm going to do a podcast this week with an independent called Rocco's out of New York. They're based in D.C., but they come from New York. And, I mean, the guy's a street fighter. I mean, he knows his business. I mean, he's going to get you. So, much more competitive, hyper
That's
competitive.
true.
Yeah, it's tough. You got to be really, really good to be successful at the pizza delivery business. And, you keep seeing these little chinks in the armor Those little chinks are going to add up to big bad chinks.